Hey guys, Tarrell here, and today we are talking about the 5 things I learned when making my short horror film, Black Star. So, let's jump in. When I first set out to make Black Star, the main 2 inspirations I was going after was a mix of the video game PT, or Silent Hills, however you want to refer to it, and the movie Sinister. And while I do think that those influences are still in the movie, more so towards the end, I pretty much learned that like the longer you're in production on a movie, the more it's going to kind of evolve into its own thing. With Black Star, I pretty much came up with the idea for the movie towards the end of August after making Slush, and I pretty much, have been in the mind frame of that movie since, last week, mid-November, once I finished the movie. And so being in it in that long chunk of time, when I first started making it, it started out as one type of movie, and, just being in such a large amount of space, I kind of got different influences, and my mindset started to change, and so it kind of just made the movie evolve into its own thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just more so depends on how much you're trying to stay to, the initial vision of the movie. But I think it also is a good thing because it kind of helps your movie become its own thing instead of being, a slave to the original idea that you came up with. I've had a lot of experiences in the past, mainly, like shooting outside where it's really windy, or trying to shoot in a house and people are just being loud, and they've kind of made me try and not do scenes that involve those because of, getting screwed over basically. And I learned in this one that you shouldn't let those past experiences stop you from having fun. Like shooting that entire first opening kidnapping scene, I was really nervous, like, oh great, it's gonna be windy or people are gonna be loud and blah blah blah, and I didn't have that at all. And I think the big thing I took away is, there's definitely gonna be cases where, outside forces are gonna stop your movie from working how you want to, but there's also days where you don't have any problems, and you shouldn't let bad experiences from the past stop you from trying to just make the movie that you want to make. Third thing I learned is that you should sometimes just abandon, what you know or what you have established as rules, with movies. Normally in all my other movies, I'd always shoot on the Cinestyle format, which, real quick, if you don't know what that is, it's a flat picture style that allows you to go in post-production and, tweak things exactly how you want. And I pretty much abandoned that completely in this. I think the kidnapping scene, I used it, and that's pretty much it. Everything else, color-wise, I shot in camera and whatnot. And the reason for that, mainly because this movie is like really dark, and I found that trying to work with those dark areas in Cinestyle was kind of throwing the color off in a way I didn't like. And it would also take about 3 times as long as if I just got everything in camera how I wanted. So basically the main thing I learned is, while there's definitely like these kind of rules and whatnot that people in the filmmaking world, especially the independent filmmaking world, make with, how your camera settings should be and, the best way to get, the look that you want. I learned that basically sometimes you just need to abandon those and just stick to your gut feeling and do what you believe is going to work best for you in your situation when you are shooting the movie or editing the movie. A lot of ideas in this, and a lot of my favorite ideas of this actually came like pretty last minute. There's definitely big chunks in pretty much every process, like the script, shooting and editing, where I was like, I don't really know where to take this, and I tried to force the ideas to come, but they wouldn't come. And then all of a sudden they would just hit me and I'd be like, oh sweet, that's what I need. And sometimes it would just come like super last minute. Like there's a scene at the very end of the movie where you see Black Star and all these floating eyes behind him. We originally shot that where it would be multiple black stars, but the effect didn't really work because the shot was too dark, so some of them in the background you couldn't really see. So really last minute I had to find a solution, and I instead went with the glowing eyes behind him, and I think I actually like that a lot more. Much creepier vibe and whatnot. So and same with story. So much of this, almost sometimes like the day before shooting I'd be like, oh, that's what I need to make the scene better. So it was really interesting to see and learn that sometimes ideas will just come when you aren't expecting it. They'll be random, and sometimes they'll come at like the very last second of when you need them. So just give yourself time. The ideas will come. The last big one, and the one that I feel like I'm still learning from and trying not to get into, is you don't want to be too high when you're successful, but you also don't want to be too low when you have failed or things haven't turned out quite as well as you want. With Black Star, it's not so much that like people came out and were like, oh, this movie sucks or blah blah blah. Is more so like like of all the short films I've done in probably the past 2 years, this is like the most work I've put into one, and it didn't quite have the reception or the outcome I expected. I don't like to be, the type of person that looks at video views and whatnot, but it definitely didn't perform how I personally would have wanted. Like I said, especially with the amount of work that went in, and there's a lot of times in the past where I've done short films and, people would like, shower me in praise with like, oh, this is so great, blah, blah, blah. So then like, it becomes an issue where like, when you're so used to that and then you put out something and then you don't get that same reaction, you can kind of start to feel like you're a failure or that the movie sucks. So what I learned from this is that you shouldn't, let your ego get too big when people praise you, but you also shouldn't get too low confidence and whatnot when things don't pan out as you want it. It's best to really just stick to making the movie, just hope for the best of whatever happens, and just kind of ride along with it. Don't expect too much, don't expect too little, and learn from successes, learn from failures, and just sorry for that voice crack. I think it's important for me to learn to just love making movies and whatnot, and not so much get caught up with oh, view wise, how's this gonna do, how are people gonna react, is this gonna be another big success, or is it gonna be a failure, am I gonna get subscribers, all that type of stuff. So that's definitely the biggest lesson I learned shooting this entire movie. So those are the 5 things I learned making Black Star. Look forward to some more stuff we have coming. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, share us around. We definitely appreciate that. And yes, enjoy some Black Star bloopers.
It's got that entire encounter on video.
Let me know.
And action.
Wake me up inside. I can't wake up. Wake me up inside.
And this Colt, I'd say it gave you that. Damn it, I forgot.
It's alright. Line is... Just barely missed the bathtub.
I crushed my toe.
You can't really see me because Luke.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you when to stand up too, so it's okay.
Yeah, you didn't say that, Tarrell, so...
Yeah, I did. I said I'll tell you when to stand up.
No, you didn't.
You aren't listening.
It's cool.
It's okay.
It's cool, no problem.
Stop, dude.
Open your eyes.
I don't know what the fuck I was just doing. Fuck.
It's alright.
I gotta get sprayed down again.
You are special to me. That's why you're still here. Fuck. I was like focused on this bug on my leg.
That's alright. Just keep rolling, Luke. Action. Are you okay? Feel free to start acting at any time, Luke. No, I'm joking. Just keep going.